Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We are going to be doing something completely different. In my head, doing this was so much easier. Seriously, I've been thinking about this for a while and I'm like, you know what I'm going to do on Tuesdays? Tati Talks, which is talking about whatever I want. And if it happens to be a tutorial, so be it. If it happens to be a tip, whatever. If it happens to be a story about my worst first kiss, then that's what we're going to do. I kind of feel like I am at a place where I have been more myself recently to the camera, and I don't know, I just kind of felt like I wanted to do a little story time, a little chit chat, help you guys get to know me a little bit better beyond just makeup, because believe it or not, there is more to me than just my love of makeup. I mean, I love makeup a lot, but I'm ready to kind of share with you guys some of my embarrassing or difficult moments in life, and maybe you can get a laugh out of them. Maybe you can learn a little something from my mistakes. And, sometimes I feel like I am your girlfriend, big sister, just friend. And I want to share my funny stories, maybe. I don't know. I was just laughing with a couple of my friends in real life, and we were going through our horror stories of dating. Today we're talking about kissing, and I'm gonna start off by saying that my very first kiss, this is humiliating, was actually in acting class, and it was on a guy that at the time I literally I could actually go into my closet right here and pull out a journal that has a teddy bear on the front, and I would be like, "Dear diary, today in dance class, he was so dreamy." And it happened that I was in dance class and acting class with this one particular guy, and I was mortified, basically. P.S. I am 14 years old at the time, and he was 13, I believe. Hadn't kissed anybody, and the teacher was like, "Oh, hey, we're actually gonna do the kiss this time." And I'm like, "Are you joking me? Are you kidding me? This is not happening in my life." I kind of was excited, ooh, I get to kiss my crush, and that's my first kiss. And then I was also kind of like, oh my God, why is this happening to me on the day that my mom woke me up late and I didn't even put chapstick on? And why is this happening to my life? And so that was my first ever kiss. It was a very innocent, there was no making out. It was just a small little kiss. But that was my first experience kissing, was in front of a bunch of people in acting class. How awkward. Many years later, because I was definitely in high school very I was a total good girl. I did not date. I did not go out and party. I did not have my second kiss until I was 17. And I remember being so excited that I could finally tell people, I kissed a boy. I finally, really kissed a guy. He really, in real life, not in acting class, kissed me. Anyway, the reason that I'm doing this whole video is because literally I am the queen of talking about bad dates and bad situations with dates, and it always makes everyone laugh. And I have a worst kiss that was just so weird. I have never experienced this in my life. And to be honest, I still don't know if it was a joke, if the guy was I really don't like this girl, so I'm gonna give her an awful, awful kiss, and then we'll just kind of see what happens. I have no idea to this day still. But I remember the day after the date going into work, and one of my coworkers was like, "How was your date? Did you kiss? What happened?" And I was just I don't even know how to explain this, but we had dinner and it was nice. And then when he kissed me, it literally felt like he just stuck a popsicle in my mouth. Literally, it wasn't a slow build workup where you're oh, lips. Oh, we're gonna kind of open our mouths and kiss a little more. It was he literally just stuck his tongue in my mouth. And it was the grossest thing ever. And I wanted to scream, but I couldn't because his tongue was in my mouth. And, I kind of was okay, good night. I remember walking up to my apartment and being what in the hell was that? Because he was really tall, really good looking. And I'm you are acting like you've never kissed anyone before, or has no one ever said to you, you're a really bad kisser because you're so good looking? I wasn't sure. Long story short, I never dated him again, but that was just so weird. Okay, how do I say this? I've mentioned like kind of jokingly that my first kiss with James was really awful. And in my mind, I think we both walked away and we were like, ugh, like, no, like this is not gonna work out. But it was just kind of the timing of it and like where we were. It was on our second date, and he at the time drove a Hummer. He was big into snowboarding and going up into the mountains, so he had this massive giant car, and the console is just literally, it's ridiculous. Like if you want to hold hands, you feel like you're like reaching across the entire car. So he goes to drop me off, and like, you know, you can feel like a kiss is coming. You're like, okay, it's gonna happen. Like he's gonna lean in, and he kind of leans in, and I kind of like position my body a little bit over the console, and I'm like kind of twisted really weird, and we kiss, and it's just super awkward, and we're like trying to make it work, and it didn't work. And then we said goodnight, and I remember I was just like, what was that? Like, what? Like, we're getting along so great. Like, what was that? And a couple days later, we talked, and he's like, yeah, about that kiss, you know, I don't know, something was kind of off. And I'm like, yeah, I know, I agree. The next time he saw me, he literally just like grabbed me, kissed me. Like, it was actually really hot. He like grabbed the back of my head and was just like, I want you, I like you, you are my girlfriend. And yeah, and then I was like, okay, we're good. But I guess the moral of that story is, you know, you're gonna kiss a few frogs before you meet your prince, but sometimes you gotta kiss your prince a couple of times before you realize he's your prince. So don't, like, you know, sometimes it takes a little bit of getting to know the other person to realize that you work together and that, you know, there is that chemistry there. So that was a really interesting first kiss because I had never had that happen before. Any guy that I ever kissed and was like, whoa, like I would just be like, game over, done. But with James, it was a totally different thing. So those are my like main kissing stories. Actually, I've kissed a lot of people. I have a lot of stories. If you want to hear more of them, let me know. Thumbs this video up if you think me just chatting with you guys about life and other things aside from makeup is like a good idea, or you know, maybe you think it sucks and you can tell me that too, it's fine. But also share with me. Do you have an interesting first kiss story? Leave that in the comments below. And I hope that you had fun hanging out and chatting with me today and getting to know me a little more behind the scenes. And I love you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out with me on my channel. I freaking love what I do here on YouTube, and I couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you again, and I will see you tomorrow with makeup. Talking about makeup, not kissing gross boys. All right, bye you guys. Mwah.